Hi there, this is Jay Siebert with Plant Based for Life. I would like to welcome you to Quick Cooking Classes. This series is all about grilling. Who doesn't love to grill? And you would be surprised how many delicious things you can throw on that grill. So we are going to be doing portobello mushroom burgers, Hawaiian style, so it'll be very sweet and savory, very delicious. But we're also going to add some other grilling things to the plate as well as to the burger. So to start, you're going to need some portobello mushrooms, and they come like this. What we want to do is remove that stem. Sometimes they come already destemmed. You want to wash these carefully. You can either take a wet paper towel and wipe them down, or you can spray them with a little white vinegar and rinse them off. It's really a personal preference thing. You definitely want to wash them. So I'm going to do that, and then we are going to create a marinade because mushrooms will absorb a marinade really, really nicely. So we want a really delicious marinade. Today we're going to be using coconut aminos. I really like this brand, but I have two brands that I really enjoy using. This one is a little bit thicker, a little bit richer, and a little bit sweeter. Make sure that whenever you buy sauces, that you look at the ingredients. There doesn't need to be any added sugar to this. Should just be coconut nectar. It's plenty sweet. It tastes a little bit like teriyaki. It's really lovely to use. They're kind of the same way you would use a teriyaki sauce or maybe even a soy sauce, but a little less sodium in it, which is nice to get a sweeter flavor, and it is absolutely delicious. So I have washed my portobello mushrooms. Now there are two ways to destem them. You just hold them firmly and twist to remove that stem. If you'd like to have a more even surface on the bottom, you can just take your knife very carefully and slide it along the edge, and it'll just make it a little bit more stable when you're grilling. Just want it nice and flush with that little lip of the cap. So either twist and pull or slice. Doesn't really matter, it's up to you. Twist and pull is faster, so that's what we're gonna do today. And then we are going to marinate it in an extremely simple marinade. We're only going to be using coconut aminos today. There are plenty of ways to marinate these. We just really want them to have a nice, powerful flavor. Another marinade that I absolutely love is a balsamic vinegar marinade, and I'll add a little bit of nutritional yeast and some Italian seasoning. It's really, really delicious. So we have either pulled or sliced the stalks off of our portobello tops so that we have nice flat little burger shapes. But don't throw these away. You can compost them if you like, but you can also slice them up or dice them really, really fine and either make a mushroom stock or broth or add those little bits to other things, to your veggie burgers or your veggie meatloaf, whatever you like to add more flavor, not to mention lovely micronutrients. So now what we're going to do is the simplest marinade. As I said, I have other marinades that I really like, but we are making a Hawaiian style portobello burger today. So you just need a dish with a flat bottom that will fit as many burgers as you need to make. You need more than one dish if you need to. So what we're going to do is we are going to put them in face up, bottom side up, these little ribs up, and then I'm just going to take my coconut aminos and sprinkle them over the top. So just sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. They don't need to be swimming in it, but the more we add, we just want to make sure that we're covering the surface. We want to give these mushrooms anywhere between 5 and 20 minutes to absorb all of this excellent marinade. Flip them over, do the same thing on the other side. Flip, flip. Douse, 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 douse. Okay, so now you see you have at least a little bit of marinade on the bottom of your flat dish. You can pop these in the fridge or just set them off to the side. Marinate them for, as I said, 5 to 20 minutes, flipping them occasionally to try and make sure that flavor gets everywhere. One other thing that you can do to increase the absorption of your flavor is to score the top of your portobello burgers. Let me show you how I do that. So I'm just going to pop this little baby out. And all I do is, you want to go down about 1/2 inch. So you want a significant score. And you want them maybe 3/4 of an inch apart. This just gives more opportunity for that marinade to sink in. So I have scored the top of all of my mushrooms. I flip them and flip them and flip them. When we are done with this marinade, we are going to go ahead and take them onto the grill. I have my grill preheating right now. So let's just go ahead and prep a few other things. So the next thing we want to prep are the pineapple slices. Now, I have these ones pre-sliced that I purchased. They are fantastic, but if you do want to buy your pineapple fresh and cut it yourself, you can. I just highly recommend that you invest in one of those handy dandy little corers. They are very inexpensive. You cut the top and bottom off, spin it in, spin it all the way down, and you have these perfect little rings. You have to cut it all the down one side, so you do have a little bit of space in there. They're not whole. So these ones that I purchased were done by the store. So that makes your life a lot easier, and then they're whole and intact. These are also a little bit thicker, which is fun because you can grill them for longer if they're a little bit thicker. Although they won't get as sweet, so sometimes thinner is better. You got to decide what you want to do. So we're doing 4 portobello burgers, so we need 4 rings, a ring for each burger. So I'm just putting them in a dish here because you want to add the marinade to this as well. So again, douse, 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 douse. Really make sure that you get the whole pineapple. And so we're flipping them over and we're gonna douse them again. And then just like the mushroom caps, you wanna leave them in this bowl for a few minutes, turn them in the marinade every so often. And as soon as you feel like it's sad enough, about 5 minutes to 20 minutes, depending on how patient you are, then we can start grilling. I'm just going to set those off to the side. Now I want to talk about, there are so many things that you can throw on the grill, really so many different things. I have some watermelon here. Watermelon is absolutely delicious on the grill. These ones are little spears. What I would actually do is make little triangle slices with the rind still on it, because it makes it very easy for you to grab on with your tongs and flip them, so it'll keep them nice and solid. Don't have to do it for long, just a couple of minutes on each side. You're just looking for score marks, and that'll just make them a little bit sweeter, juicier. They'll be really, really delicious. Go ahead and give it a try. Another thing that you can do is romaine. So we're going to be doing that today. What we're going to do is we are going to take the end off, slice them in half, and throw the whole half onto the grill. Again, just for a minute or two, just to get some grill marks on each side. It just gives you a little bit of an interesting flavor to your romaine lettuce. You can add a little bit of marinade if you want, but it really doesn't need it. You can add a few seasonings if you like. You have a lovely no salt seasoning that you like. You can add that as well, maybe a little spritz of vinegar. It's entirely up to you. I'm gonna leave them plain because they're delicious just like that. Anytime you add heat to something that has natural sugar in it, it brings out the sweetness. And that's what we're gonna do to these romaine hearts. Another fun one to grill is avocado. So we are going to add this avocado to the burger. But what we want to do is very carefully score it all the way down to the pit, all the way around. So spin, 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 twist, and now we have 2 halves of an avocado. So this one's a pretty good one, very nice. So what we want to do is put it face down with the skin on. Again, the skin will help to hold it together so that it doesn't make a mess all over the place. It'll help you to get that off of the grill. So you're just going to put grill marks on the face. But what happens is the fat, it just starts to melt a little bit. You'll get that lovely caramelization on the outside, but you will also turn your little avocado into kind of avocado butter. So it'll be absolutely delicious to sort of mash on top of your burger. Really, really yummy. So we'll be doing that in a little bit. Again, you can add some marinade, seasoning, vinegars, whatever you like, but I'm gonna leave them plain because they are delicious just like that. So one more thing we want to grill before we put on our burger is a little red onion. You can add whatever kind of onion you like, but red onion is naturally sweet already. You can add sweet or Hawaiian style onion, white onion. But red onion is beautiful in color as well. Remember, when we add variety in color, we are adding different kinds of micronutrients. So this is a really fantastic thing to do to increase your, whenever you want to eat that entire rainbow of colors of foods. So this purple color of the red onion, I don't know why it's called red onion when it's purple, but it's definitely purple. The purple colors are really fantastic in terms of antioxidants and wonderful micronutrients. So what you want to do is at least ½ inch. You don't want to make these too thin or else they're just going to fall right through the rack in your grill. So take the end off and at least ½ inch. You don't have to peel them because you can peel them once you slice them. So I've got my slice. I'm going to do another one here. Don't separate them at this point. Keep them whole until you finish grilling them. Again, if you separate these little rings, they'll fall through your grill. So you want to keep this nice and whole. Take this whole little slab of onion and grill it until you're happy with it. Some people might just want to singe it a little bit. Some people might want to wait until it softens. The more you grill, the more these natural sugars in this onion are going to develop. So about ½ inch, grill as long as you like. I would give it 2 or 3 minutes at least. And then you can separate them afterward and add those slices to your burger. Or you can do the whole thing if you love that onion. We're also going to be adding some tomato, but we'll go ahead and do that fresh. You can grill tomato. You absolutely can. But a little bit of freshness on your burger is going to be welcome with all these wonderful, warm, savory flavors. So one of the sides we're going to do, apart from the romaine lettuce, is corn on the cob. So these ones have their husk intact. You can buy them already husked, which is kind of nice for convenience sake. But I wanted to buy one that has its husk on it to demonstrate that you can grill these one of 2 ways. So if you buy them already husked, if you buy them with their little kernels exposed, then you can grill those, absolutely grill those on the grill. You're just gonna have to watch them and spin them often. If you grill them like this, what you're going to have to do is peel these leaves back without peeling them off and get all those little stringy bits out of there. You want to remove all the little stringy bits, get them nice and clean, pull everything back. Now, at this point, you can add, again, savoriness inside the corn. You can add seasoning, you can add vinegars, you can do a lot of different things. But then what you're gonna wanna do is put that skin back. So you're gonna wanna put that back in place. You're going to want to soak these for at least an hour or 2. Because if you don't, these are just gonna burn. So you want them to be nice and saturated with water as much as possible. And then what's going to happen is this is going to steam on the grill. So do you want your corn steamed or do you want it a little bit caramelized? It's up to you. So today we are actually going to peel these because I really like the caramelization. I just wanted to show you what was possible. One last thing that you can grill are your buns. I love this brand. Ezekiel brand has a lovely sesame bun. So these are sprouted wheat buns, really, really delicious. And I love some sesame seeds on there. Sesame seeds are a lovely source of iron and calcium. So really delicious and good for you. You can go ahead and toast your buns on the grill if you want to do that. Otherwise, they're really rich and chewy and delicious just like this. Okay, so now we're out here at our grill. We are going to use some tongs. Be very, very careful. This stuff is hot. And you want it on the hottest part of the grill to start with. These should not take more than a few minutes, but cook them as long as you like. And you're just gonna have to keep an eye on them. So we're gonna get the portobello mushroom started, and the onions take a little while too, so we will be adding those to the grill as well. We're gonna wait a little bit on the pineapple because they do not take much time at all, but we wanna get those onions nice and caramelized. So through the magic of television, we will come back to you when these are ready to go. You just wanna keep flipping them so that they cook evenly. Adding a little bit of marinade to those onions. Anytime you have an opportunity to add flavor, go ahead and do that. That is a very good thing to do. We want our food to be delicious. So while our mushrooms are grilling away, I just wanted to point out one thing when I have our ears all cleaned up. Even if you have a little few stray strings attached there, the grill will burn those off. So you don't have to worry about it too much. Just make them as clean as possible. You also have an opportunity here to, after you grill it, to add all sorts of savoriness on top as well, but it's going to be delicious just like this and grilled. You can see those mushrooms are starting to soften. Mushrooms are extremely high in water, and so they will release some of that. So they will go down a little bit. They feel a little bit big and thick when you first start. So you can see that our burgers are starting to reduce in size a little bit. Mushrooms are very high in water, and so once you grill them, they are going to flatten out a little bit and make a better burger size. I also wanted to point out that when you shuck your ears of corn, you take the husk off. It might have a few strings on it left, but that's okay because the grill is going to burn those off. We are going to add the ears of corn to the barbecue now. Be very, very careful. I also like to leave the little handle on to make it easier to eat. Look at how beautiful that grill is already starting to look. We're going to be adding some more stuff, so stay tuned. So here we have our romaine hearts. I like to use hearts instead of full heads of romaine lettuce because they tend to be very compact and tightly packed. Now, if you do trim that little end off first, which you don't have to do, you can trim that later. But if you do trim it off, make sure to leave enough so that it holds the leaves together. So slice it in half lengthwise, and just a minute on each side on the grill is all that you need. Our burgers are looking really, really good. They are just about ready to come off of there. And then we will grill up our pineapple and our avocado, and then we will be ready to assemble. Probably cut to them being on the grill already. So now we have our pineapple on the grill. We want to just leave it no more than a couple of minutes on each side. Keep turning that corn to get nice little grill marks all the way around. At the very end, we're going to add our avocado, and we are just about ready to go. All right. The risk of barbecuing includes potential rainfall. So we have a little bit of a sprinkle going on here, but this food we're undercover, so we're good. And this food is going to be absolutely delicious. Look at those gorgeous grill marks on that pineapple. Oh my gosh, it's making me drool. The one last thing I'm going to pop on the grill is our buns. Just going to pop them on really quick to warm them and toast them just a little bit on this top shelf here. And now we're going to add our avocado. Remember, just needs a minute or two. Everything else is looking absolutely gorgeous. Look at those onions. They're starting to shrink and soften a little bit. And our romaine lettuce is just about ready to flip. Everything is going to be fantastic. Stay with us while we plate this in just a little bit. Look at that little bit of caramelization on those romaine lettuce half hearts. Is going to be gorgeous. Here we go. Look at all of that gloriousness. So those burgers you can see have, oh my gosh, look at those grill marks. Absolutely beautiful. They have softened, flattened out a little bit, lost a little bit of that water, which means they're just going to be that much more savory. The onions have softened and shrunk, and those sugars will have developed, and they will be even sweeter than they were to start with. Look at that gloriousness. Those pineapples have beautiful grill marks on them now. And they, along with the marinade, they have been grilled so that their sugars have developed as well. So they are going to be even sweeter than when they started. And look at those lovely grill marks on our romaine hearts. It's going to be nice and juicy on the inside and just a little bit sweet and smoky on the outside. Oh my goodness, look at that avocado. Absolutely gorgeous. So it will have softened on the inside. You'll get a smoky flavor on the outside. It's going to be so much fun and deliciousness on our burgers. We are going to assemble all of this back in the kitchen. All right, we are back in the kitchen. Thank goodness, because it's really coming down out there now, the risk of barbecuing, right? So look at all this gloriousness. I wish you could smell it because it smells absolutely amazing. So now let's go ahead and assemble these burgers. Okay, so we have our perfectly toasted buns from the barbecue, nice and golden, still soft and chewy on the inside. Now let's take our gorgeous grilled avocado. Now you can use a knife or a spoon, either way it might get a little messy. I just take a spoon and little slices at a time with that edge of the spoon. On the grill, that avocado has softened and it'll just be buttery and luscious. I'm a huge fan of avocado, so I'm gonna go ahead and add a generous portion. Remember that when you're eating avocado, if you have weight to release, then you're gonna wanna limit your portions because it is a fairly calorie dense item. It's got lots of beautiful fiber, lots of micronutrients, but you wanna do about 1/8 of an avocado to 1/4 depending on the size. This one's a little bit smaller, so I'm gonna do 1/4 of the avocado. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this glorious slice of fresh beefsteak tomato. These beefsteak tomatoes just happen to be about the same size as a burger, so one thick slice will do you, which makes it a little less messy to eat. Although this burger is juicy and it's going to be a little bit messy. Absolutely delicious though. So let's take one of our gloriously grilled portobello mushroom caps, slide that on there. We're also going to take one of our yummy, sweet pineapple rings, add that to the top. And then one more thing, if you're into onions, these are going to be sweet and delicious. Now you can have this whole thing if you like that, but what I'm going to do, pardon my fingers, is just pop a couple of rings off of it and add those to my burger, just like that. Little rings, like that. Do one more. And it's so good. That is a tall, tall drink of burger right there. So you can also add other things to this. You can add plant-based mayos, mustard, unsweetened ketchup, whatever you like, but trust me, this burger is full of flavor. So what I highly recommend is that you slice this baby in half. Not only is it more beautiful to see the inside, but it's gonna be easier to eat because it's a bit of a monster. So carefully holding both sides, just saw back and forth until you get through all those glorious layers. Yum. And add those to your plate. Okay, got your burger on your plate now. Now you want to add each individual half part. Everybody gets a half or more if you want. Remember, you want at least half of your plate to be non-starchy vegetables. This is going to be absolutely delicious. And we are going to now add the grilled corn. Carefully here, because it's hot. You can slice this in half if this is too much for you, but remember that corn is a whole grain. So what we have on here is a plate full of vegetables, fruit, whole grains, mushrooms, allium category. This is extremely nutritious and extremely fulfilling, comforting, and delicious. I hope you enjoy it. That is our glorious grilled Hawaiian style portobello mushroom burger, romaine lettuce heart, and grilled ear of corn. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. This is Jay Zivart, and you're watching Quick Cooking Classes with Plant Based for Life.